Oh man, summer haircuts are in, and so is iced coffee. This is COFOH Live Undead. I am your host, Daniel Crosier. I am still laid up in bed with my fractured tibia, but who cares? Because on this episode, we have Ed and Marsha Edmunds of Distortions Unlimited. Oh man! But first, something on my face. Ed and Marsha, how are you?
Hello, we are good.
Hey, Dan.
It's so good to see you. It feels like it's been ages.
Well, it kind of has been. You know, the last year was crazy and you've been laid up. And so, yeah, it's been a little weird.
It has. For everybody, watching at home, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Where you come from and how you got into making monsters.
The story.
Well, I'll give a quick rundown. Now, I was a monster-loving kid when I, grew up in Long Grove, Illinois, and just kind of went along doing my monster things and makeups and stuff, and ended up going to Greeley to go to college to be an art teacher because I didn't think I could make a living making monsters, and the business just found me despite myself. And then Marsha came along about 5 years into it.
Yes.
And she got sucked in. She liked it, even though she had a really nice kind of career thing going and was really sophisticated. I drug her in, and the monsters drug her in, and she loves it.
I did. So that was the 80s.
Yeah.
So 40 years later.
Oh, now you didn't need to mention that.
40 years later.
Whew.
Yeah, it's hard to believe because we're still young on the inside.
Yeah, you definitely are. It's I've met up with you guys, several times at the shop, and the stuff that you guys produce. All the fun little ghoulies and everything, the masks, the animatronics, it never ceases to amaze me. And, it's everybody who knows who Distortions is, whether it's from, the Making Monsters TV show or, from, collecting all your Halloween and haunt items, year after year, it's always, it's like going to Halloween Disney. It's so much fun. Yeah,
it is. It's fun. It is a lot of work. A lot of people look at that and say, "Oh, I wish I did that." But at the end of the day, it's fun. But there is a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Now, coming out of the pandemic, you guys are opened up a new feature in Denver at Denver Pavilions.
Yeah,
Distortions Monster World. Can you tell us a little bit about that endeavor?
Well, we're working with Nate and Heidi Webb with Blazin. And
Blazin Illuminations.
Yeah, they're actually operating it, day-to-day operating it. All of our monsters are down there.
Nice.
And it's, people are giving it really good reviews, and it's a photo op opportunity and also a museum, and there's a lot of history too about Distortions in part of it, so it's kind of fun. Yeah,
and it was basically their idea. We had done the Monster World thing at Monster Day, and they've been researching pop-ups and things. And when we really thought about, because we were talking about taking Monster Day on the road,
yeah,
but it's so much to get up and take down and get up and take down. I was working through that stuff, but This is nice because you can get it up and leave it up. And so it's slated for about a year in Denver, and it is like the best real estate you could get right on the downtown. Let's see, it's the Forever 21 building. What's Denver Pavilions, but it's really good real estate, and the space is beautiful, which that's kind of fun because it's all white and ornate and so forth and beautiful, and then we stick our monsters in there, and they've lit it all with beautiful lighting and things, and it really is. It's nice because you can not only see it good, because in a haunted house, you know, you're running and screaming and it's dark and smoky. You can actually get up, touch these things, and stick your mouth in them, or in this case, have your whole body eaten by this monster. And it's just a really unusual place to take pictures and see the monsters up close.
Right. Monster World at Monster Day, you know, there were actors.
Yeah.
Monster World at the Denver Pavilion, yeah, there's no actors at this point. Come Halloween, we might change it up a little bit. We might have some costume people in there.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're debating how to make that special for Halloween. That is kind of monsters, their holiday and so forth.
Yeah.
But it's been fun because it's just a very unique way to experience monsters that's not normal. You know, you see them in movies, you see them in haunted houses, but to get up and really be a part of them, that's really cool. People like it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I have yet to get down there. I know, I think Brett and Jeannie from, my partners at COFOH, at Colorado Festival of Horror.
Yes.
They got down there and they loved it. They absolutely adored it.
Good.
So, for everybody that's watching, you can see the ticker going at the bottom there. The website for Distortions Monster World is distortionsmonsterworld.com. So
there you go.
Make sure to check it out and go down there and really experience it, because it's kind of an interesting thing. These pop-up photo op museums. You hear about there's a few of them here in Denver that do that, but of course you've got like Meow Wolf. That's kind of an experience, and here you guys are. I've known you guys for about 40 years, almost 40 years.
Yes.
Because I was one of those kids that kept rummaging through your dumpster out back when you were in Crosier.
You were a dumpster diver.
I was a dumpster. I was like 6 in dumpster diving.
Nice.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's back then, in small town Crosier where everybody knew each other. My mom would just go out, have fun, just don't cut yourself. That's all we ask.
That's amazing.
So,
I decided you may have told me that, but I didn't remember
that's wild.
Yeah, we when I brought Elise by a couple years ago, you were complaining about how kids used to get into your dumpster, and I was like, yeah, you scared me.
Yeah, but fortunately, your leg is healing finally.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I had to get after you.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for my RoboCop leg to.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not coming.
But
do you still have anything, Dan, out of the dumpster? Do you still have anything?
No, I think back then, 6 years of age, 7 years of age,
Yeah.
it's hard to hang on to anything. But at the same time, latex also tends to rot. So I haven't come through anything that my parents kept. No,
that stuff, you go on to camp or something, it seems to disappear. It's
right.
But, the old R&D latex that we used to use, that used to have formaldehyde in it, and so it lasted. We've got old masks that are 40 years old that are still going strong.
Wow, that's awesome. Can you see if is any of these from that generation?
Well, let's see if there's any that Methuselah is probably 35, 40 years old. That's the old man on the top shelf, third one in.
Nice.
That's very old.
Yeah, I love this image. It's just kind of this rogues gallery of all these. It's a trophy room. That's what it is. these are all the creatures that you've collected and obviously built and you know, over the years. But man, how cool!
Yeah. And I, you know, back in the day, of course, there was no internet or anything. Sometimes we get a letter or something, but I had no clue that people were buying this stuff and protecting it and saving it, and that we would come into contact with these people, you know, 30, 40 years later. That's really been heartwarming. The internet's kind of brought the community together that's all over the world.
That's fantastic. Well, where's the most obscure place that you've you discovered fans or you know, people that have collected your works?
Oh, I don't know. We just sent like $70,000 worth of stuff to Saudi Arabia. No,
I would say they're like old. They're not old fans.
No, those aren't old fans. Those are new.
But
Cool.
old fans.
Oh, I don't know.
Probably collector types would be UK and
yeah. I know somebody recently bought a mask from a collector in Germany, and
oh, cool.
So Europe.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, there's people all over, and that just shocked me. I don't know. I just had not expected that.
Is like, you know, haunt communities, you know, the Halloween community, is that, do you find it's more centralized to just the U.S. or are you finding that it's just reaching?
It's starting to reach, but it mostly has been the United States. It's still mostly the United States, but it is becoming more of a worldwide thing. People, I think they travel and they see it, and then they're like, wow, we've got nothing like that in our country. In fact, when we did the Israel build, there was Zip, and so they've done very well. And because people don't think Halloween, it's open year round, and it does great year round. Nice.
Oh man, yeah. To me, yeah, Halloween is every day of the year.
Yeah, that's too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, you know, you guys also teamed up with the city of Greeley to do, you know, Monster Day Greeley.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, that was really fun because I was going through this Don Post book. Don Post was the originator of Halloween Mass, and back in California, I don't know, 40s and 50s, and there was a thing where they had Monster Days, and I thought, wow, what a great idea. And so I contacted the city, and I didn't know what to expect, but Allison with DDA was like, that sounds interesting. Well, let's have a meeting. And so they scheduled a breakfast meeting. And so to show them what it would be like to have monsters on the street, I got in this Von Charon lab coat with a big headed alien and gloves, and walked into the restaurant. And to my surprise, it was like everybody was there. Greeley Welcoming Chamber, DDA, I don't know, Greeley Unexpected. There's a mob. And so I take off the mask and I figure, okay, now I'll do the sales pitch. There was no sales pitch. They go, so what are we doing? I'm like, what? This is weird. Yeah, you're like normal people. What do you mean? What are we doing? And so I never had to sell it. They were on board, and it's like a fantastic group of people. Yeah. In fact, Nate and Heidi said, you know, they work with a lot of cities and things with their lighting equipment and things. And they said that the Greeley guys were all cohesive. They all worked together, and it was great. They really appreciated that.
Oh, that's awesome. And yeah, you this will be what, like the fourth or fifth?
Well, this is the 5th year. Last year was just online.
Right.
This is the 5th year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that by itself, that's an interesting thing, having to produce, you know, go from a live, you know, event to a virtual event, you know, during the pandemic. You know, what was that experience like?
Oh, it's just what we could do. You know, we filmed some stuff. The city filmed some stuff.
They did some stuff.
And we put that all together with a bunch of miscellaneous videos just to make it fun. And we thought it was real good. Now, I don't think there's many people that sat through all 3 hours.
Right.
Well, it was 3.5 hours. However, I talked to one guy and he said, oh, I loved it. We've watched it 3 times. And I'm like,
all the way
3 times?
Yeah.
All the way. And I said, the whole thing. Oh yeah, it's so good. Like, wow, this is.
It's almost as good as Godfather 2.
Yeah. Well,
same running time.
I think you bailed the last 30 minutes or
maybe
something.
you
It
know.
was
Of course,
like, I've got to go paint.
well,
you made it. You made it. Why watch?
Over and over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd had my fill, but it was fun. We still had a speed demo, and I painted 30 masks in 10 minutes. But this time I wasn't blinded. The blind one, that was really hard.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was from the last in-person event was 2019.
Right.
A snapshot of you blind painting.
Yes.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Why did you do that to yourself?
Well, I always like to do something more and push the boundaries. So the first year was 10 masks in 10 minutes. Second year was 20 masks in 10 minutes. And then this year it was 10 masks, but blind. And let me tell you, that's harder than you would think. But they weren't perfect, but they were not too bad.
And this year, are you going to reveal what you're going to do this year?
This year, I'm going to get Tom up on stage, but instead of having to hold me to keep me from falling off the stage blindfold, we're going to work together and make full body aliens. And we're going to make as many as we can. And every time we finish one, I'm going to throw a flying saucer, like a Frisbee flying saucer, out in the audience. Whoever catches it gets to keep it. And these are, I don't know, what do these sell for? A couple $100 or something? Yeah. So we're going to paint as fast as we can, make as many as we can. And the Frisbee's nice, though, because then you can get it way out there, so the people in the back can get them too.
That's pretty cool. So Tom, who do I know this?
Tom Cassidy. Tom is an extremely talented sculptor, painter. He went to the Tom Savini School. He'd been out in Hollywood, worked on I don't know, Predator, I think, and Godzilla, and different things. But he's a very recent hire, maybe the last 2-3 years. And he's just been great, and so he's part of the team now, and it's a small team, so it wasn't easy to get in. We worked with sculpting and stuff, and we just kept, dang, he's good, he's easy to live with, and so Tom's part of the family now.
That's cool. So I've met the team, Mike, Janine, Mondo, and I think Mondo's brother, is that right?
Mon, yeah.
Mon, yes.
Yeah. It's always been that crew, and it's always been really tight knit and intimate, at least for the last 12 years, I think, that I've been swinging by.
That for us is wonderful, and I think they enjoy it because we're like a family. Like, it's slightly dysfunctional, like the Munsters or something, but we have added a couple of new people recently, and to the team, and they're doing great. And besides Tom, and
and Adam, one of our kids, is a big part of the team. He does all of our social media, website, filming, all that sort of thing. And Ryan, he moved.
Oh,
but he does our graphics and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so he's still a distorter, but not here right now.
Yeah, not full time, but he still has his fingers in it. But so the gang's all there.
Yeah,
and they'll all be, of course, they'll all be participating. And I'm sure Ryan's going to come back and help you out with Monster Day.
No, I don't know if we'll get him out here from us.
Okay.
Any plans to get him out here?
Maybe.
Well, there's always
I
hope.
doubt it. I don't know. But Adam will be around filming.
Yeah,
he'll be filming and stuff like that.
Well, and that's one thing we're going to do, since now we have like fans all over. There's people from Germany. I forget what the city said. I never looked at that, but fans from all over the world now, and so we're going to do have it live, but then we're going to have Adam film it live and put that on the internet too. So.
Podcast it. Nice. That's cool. What a great way to really connect with an international crowd, and also kind of break those cultural and language barriers. It's
that's super cool. Yeah, but monsters, they bring people together. People from all types and parts of the world, and the monsters, it's like a little group of monster lovers that all get along.
And you'll be there, right?
Yeah. Yep. Colorado Festival of Horror will be there. Elisa and I are going to be manning the tent. My parents are coming out to lend a hand because I can't really do the heavy lifting. One side of my body can, but the others can't.
Hey, you feel like Igor dragging the one side of your body along.
Yeah. Just give me an e-scooter. It's much easier. No, it'll be fun. And we'll see more sites of this. When you were talking about like how monsters bring people together, a big message of this is anti-bullying.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
That's right. Don't be a monster.
Yeah, the Don't Be a Monster people are great.
Yeah, it's so inviting. Kids love monsters, despite what their first impression might be, they're always intrigued, right? They're always curious.
Yeah.
Yes.
And these are just some.
Oh, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
It's fun to see kids kind of lose their fear of them because they're seeing them and the monsters are friendly and then they can understand that they don't have to be afraid. A lot of times we were afraid of that at first and had plans for crying children, how to deal with it.
Right.
Very little of that. They got it right away.
Nice. Yeah. It's great to see, so many, because it is also a Halloween event, even though it's in August. Wearing their costumes and hopping out. You got this purple people eater guy, and then hanging out with little Hellboy, and it's like how cute and adorable. It's what a great way to bring community together and kind of coalesce over this love of horror, Halloween, and creatures and monsters. Yeah,
and the costume contests are going on at Monster Day, so that's a big part of it.
Man, that's going to be awesome. When is that, like later in the evening? Because it runs for one day. Starts at later in the afternoon or something?
No, it starts about noon. I think it's noon to 6 or 8.
Noon to 6 this year, I think.
Noon to 6. So it's just a big party and.
But yeah, the costume contest is later in the day. I think it's around 4 or 5, something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Yes,
it is later.
Right.
Yeah,
but it because that's a lot of kids participate in things, so they want to catch them. But we've got people, really talented makeup artists coming this year. We've got the Monster Morph people that are incredible. Andy Wright and his gang. I'm not sure who's coming, and we've got Stiltby Studios, Alan, and we've got Justin and Lucas, and they're gonna. But all these people do amazing makeups and things. I'm not sure what Lucas is going to be made up, but it's like you get to see how they do it in Hollywood. I mean, it's perfect makeup for the event. So that's fun, and they'll be there. And then there's Anderson Farms has become a huge part of this.
I love them.
They are like the greatest people. And Jim Anderson, who owns the farm, just really fortunately got these great haunters, and he was smart enough to, as long as they're doing, bringing the crowds in, he seems to pretty much let them do their thing. And so there's some really excellent entertainment stuff going on there, but they've taken to Monster Day, and I think the actors enjoy it because they get to dress up and have fun an extra day of the year. And so they've been very instrumental and very helpful in making the event.
Yeah, also 13th Floor City of the Dead.
Yes.
Those guys are cool.
Yeah,
so
they are awesome. They're participating also, helping out with actors and things. So
well, and they're kind of a team. Those guys work together. Yeah. They're all friends, and so that really helps to make it good. I think last time we were live, I think they brought like 60 people, and all in costume and things. So I'm not sure what we'll do this year, but that's quite an element that makes it fun.
Yeah, and the event itself is going to be Saturday, August 21st. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Nice. So for everybody that tuning in, make sure to check out that website at monsterdaygreeley.com for more information. They're going to be making a lot of updates, I think, in the upcoming weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming fast. I hope you guys are ready. I know you're making.
We're never ready, and we just finished the new Gremlin. Every year we do a new Gremlin.
Right.
And we just finished the last one. It's all top secret right now, but Mom just showed me it this afternoon. It just came out of the mold and looks good. And
yeah, this is kind of the old one. Granted, this is the first one.
That's Greeley. He was first.
Nice. So you've got a new one coming out. So, yeah, you've got this whole family of cute little monster critters.
One every year. Yeah, one every year.
Wow, it's quite the family. And you make them as collectibles, or Yeah,
people buy them. It's amazing how well they sell. The funny thing is, we'll go to Transworld, where it's all about bloody zombies and big haunted houses and stuff. We'll sell more of those than anything else. And they're cute, and I just didn't think they'd do that well. But everybody seems to like it. Kids like it. Adults like them. And they're edgy, but they're still cute. And I didn't even know that we could do cute. The only cute thing I'd ever done was Smokey the Bear, and I hated it. And so the city came up with the idea. Said, well, we should have a little mascot. And I'm like, okay, well. And so we had John Lorenzi, who's a phenomenal artist. He does stuff for, I don't know. He was like the main artist for Megadeth for probably 15 years. And Black Sabbath and stuff. He's, he lives in Greeley, but he's phenomenal. And so he designed it, and it was super cute. And I sculpted it and enjoyed it. And he did turn out cute. And so anyway, we just kept doing it.
That's awesome. But if anything, like Pixar's Monster Inc. taught me, is going cute is incredibly accessible and universal. We've got some comments coming in. Looks like Sierra, fellow Distortion here. So absolutely, loves you guys. And then Mark here is saying hi, y'all.
Hello, Mark.
It all sounds great. I love him. I think he's talking about you and maybe Megadeth. Incidentally, what you guys had this amazing TV show that I was privileged enough to be a part of, called Making Monsters on Travel Channel, and that was a wonderful experience for me and Enigma, because we were on that episode. But I remember you did something for Megadeth, I think a season or two later.
Yes.
And I remember you were working with Alice Cooper and stuff.
Yeah.
Doing some of his stage productions and everything. Dick Van Dyke. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still go out and help Dick.
Well, he called last week, and Marsha talked to him, and he's wanted to have us out, and it's just a delight, because he's such a
monster lover.
Not only is he a nice guy, which is always nice with celebrities, but he's a monster lover. He's been doing a haunt at his house since I think the 50s or 60s. And back when you had to make your own stuff, he made his own Frankenstein and stuff.
Oh man, that's amazing. He's in his 90s, and I still see him do interviews. He's like a kid at heart. He is
a kid at heart. The last time we were there, he had a mask made for him, and he sat in a chair by one of the props, and he was scaring children. He just thinks that's hilarious, which it is. Which it shouldn't be, but it is. And so he was just having a blast. Here he's 93 with a hot Halloween mask on. I think it was silicone, and he's just having a ball.
That doesn't really breathe that well either.
No. But he had it custom made to fit his head and stuff. And he's just, we love him, and it's really a privilege to go out there and help him out.
So when is he coming out to Monster Day?
Well, I would love him to come out. Last time we were there, we sit around talking with him, and he's like, well, I'd like to come out and see your shop. And it's like, we would love to have you, but I mean, it's kind of difficult to travel and things. So I don't know that that'll ever happen. He looked over at his wife, and I don't know if she was as enthusiastic as he was, but you know, maybe not. Probably not.
Yeah, she's the one that keeps him going.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Look out for him.
They are quite the team.
Yeah.
They just this production they put on, it's a whole stage show with sound and lighting, and she does a lot of performance, and they have a puppeteer, which this is a dying art, and this guy's phenomenal, and he makes all his own puppets, and he's got like dancing skeletons, they fall apart and stuff. It's a fun thing that, you know, very few people see it. And it was cool too, because I don't know if it was the last year we were there. We didn't go last year because of COVID, but there was a Frankenstein that showed up, and it was perfect Hollywood makeup. And so got my attention. I'm looking at him, and then it's like, that dude looks familiar, even with Frankenstein makeup on. And so I go, "What's your name?" And he goes, "I don't have a name." And I'm like, and it's like, it was Jim Cameron. It took me a minute to figure it out. And so then when we were back in the back talking to Dick, Jim Cameron's back there, and Dick introduced us to him. But yeah, they live in the same neighborhood, and so he was over visiting.
That's cool. Did Jordu stop by to say hi?
No.
He did 1 year, not that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and Mikey came out. Yeah.
Oh, I love those two. They're so amazing.
Let me tell you a funny story. Yes. So today we get a panic call from Jordu, and he's like desperate. He leaves a message. "I got to talk, this is urgent." And so somebody had sent him a belated birthday wishes, and he says, "My condolences on Ed's death." And so he's like, "Ed who?"
No.
He's thinking me. And, because we're, together with the show and stuff. And so we called him. It had been an hour or so. And we called him, and he was like, "Thank God."
Poor guy.
Yeah, I don't know if oh man, don't die, you two.
I don't think we can die. Excellent. We'll slow down a little. We might start to smell, but I'm not sure that we can actually die. Yeah, we just.
Yeah. Well, you got the nice vampire syndrome going on, or which version of undead are you?
Yeah,
what did you choose from?
Oh, Ed Sullivan was dead for the last 20 years. It's all right.
Oh, geez, yeah, man, it's I remember meeting Jordu with Enigma and stuff, and you've met Enigma. He's quite the chatterbox and everything.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, and we're just like both sitting there. It's like, oh my gosh, does Jordu ever turn off? Like, he's super fast with the the hands and the sculpting talent and stuff, but his mouth and his wit just keeps full volume. We're like,
on fire. In fact.
And then we're like looking at you, Ed, and it's just like, oh crap, we're stuck between these two.
Well, the thing is, I end up being like the straight man to Jordu,
right?
But I'm not that straight. But compared to Jordu, I'm a straight man, and he's actually worse. Like when we go out to eat and stuff, he's doing his thing, and he's like,
he's a performer.
"Can I have butter?" I did, and he's doing this stuff, and the waitresses, I'm sure they're like, This is not a functioning human being, and I'll be nice to him and stuff. And he's acting, he's doing his thing, and it's really funny. And a lot of the stuff he did, they just had to, edit that because he just went too far.
Oh yeah. I could totally see that. Yeah, he's, I could see him in a public setting. Jordu, it's a diner. It's not vaudeville. That's awesome. Now, since then, you guys have been, doing your own productions, making your Monster Lab videos available, free on YouTube, showing people the ins and outs of the art of monster making, of making masks, of, doing props and animatronics. It's amazing. I'm surprised you guys are able to keep up, but in your production quality is just for the videos, obviously the production quality for your monsters are immaculate, but I've been really excited watching you guys grow and into you're basically your own media company. When are you going to buy Warner Brothers?
Well, that'll be a while. But,
Yeah, right.
we discovered that when social media really caught on, that is super important from a commercial standpoint, from sales and stuff. And so we wanted to do it well. And Adam, was pro and doing stuff, and I wanted to do good stuff. And we found that really helps the company. And so we just put out a little short film. It's called Monster Rock or something. But we had professional makeup done and did this whole little thing. It's just a little 5-minute film. It's up on Distortions YouTube. But we're dabbling in all sorts of things, and really it's super enjoyable. It's like my hobby. But it's, I would tell, and for anybody that's out there wanting to make monsters, anybody out in the audience, watch Monster Lab. I know it doesn't cost anything. It's free. And what I've done is I stripped away all the hoopla that makes it look complicated and impossible. And I show people how to make it very simply so they can have success the first time out. Nice. And so that I would recommend, but I also recommend if you want to get in the business, you need to know equally how to do social media and how to do a website, because if you can't, you could be a crummy monster maker and still make more money than some spectacular guy that doesn't know how to use the internet.
Or hire someone.
Right.
Oh yeah, you can hire them, but
you don't have to do it yourself.
No, but it's nice if you're starting out, if you can do it yourself. But yeah, if you can find somebody.
Because we don't manage our website or make it or anything.
Adam does.
Adam does, but not Ed and I. Yeah.
Nice, but you're still keeping it in the family, and it's not a bad skill set to have. It seems like this day and age, if you can have multiple. You have to wear multiple hats to almost do it.
That's right. And even if you end up that not being your job, you need to know the job so you're not getting bamboozled. So I think it's really important to be a jack of all trades and learn to run the business inside out. And it's like the greatest time ever to do almost anything, whether it's graphics or film or monsters. The information's there. It's just on the tree for picking. You get on the YouTube, you got a question, you just type it in and boop, there's the answer.
Yeah, I was just thinking too, like, you guys are constantly, producing, the new animatronic, the new mask, whatever, you conceive of, you're doing it. Do you kind of remind me of like the Stephen King of the hot world, in that, you're very disciplined in working that, and, being creative and being very diligent with everything. But do you ever have those days where you're just like creatively hitting a wall and nothing's coming or nothing's working, or did you have something like that, Ed, where, it was, more towards the early days and now it's just all the wheels are just going and going now?
Going now. I did remember hitting a creative wall, and we just couldn't figure out where to go with the company. And but when we got into animatronics and something broke free, and we no longer have that problem. Now, not all our ideas are good, but we got plenty of ideas.
Right. And, the thing is, people, just like tonight, people see Ed and I or whatever, but it's really our team.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
And as far as creativeness, the team puts that together.
Yeah.
So it's not just us like, oh, geez.
Oh, no, we might have an idea, but there's all and even though, like, Mike's a welder, you say, oh, well, he's just meat and potatoes. No, he isn't. His stuff that goes inside the monsters to make them come alive is art. And you might think that way, but it really is. In fact, some of the stuff he welds up is like, dang, dude, that's genius. And every single person has become perfect for the job. They've all been there. All the key people have been there 20 years or so. And the only like Tom and Moan's a little newer and stuff, but everybody's been there so long that they know their job inside out, and they all wear multiple hats. So we're able to, with a small crew, just bang out crazy, cool stuff.
Yeah, and they're all super creative people, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, problem solvers.
Yeah.
Creative people. They don't all have art backgrounds. Some of them do, some of them don't. But I think they all have that. We all have that in common as far as that creative spirit or whatever, nature, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, like say for instance, Mike Glover does very creative, doesn't like horror movies. Janine Johnson loves horror movies. You know, it's just it's all so varied, and it's really, honestly, most of my career, I was so busy making a living, I didn't really think about it stuff. But the crew we have now, and the things we're producing, it's really magical, and I can see it now, and it's like, wow, this is really a moment in time, and you know, I hope it'll last. But things change and things, but we seem to be firing on all cylinders for the moment.
Nice. That's cool. You know, I'm sure, you know, you're getting ready to, you know, debut your next batch of you know, fun, wild ideas and everything. Is you know, is there anything that that you've always wanted to do that you just haven't attempted yet?
Wow.
I don't think so, Dan. You know, we pretty much explored everything.
The bucket list is full.
Well,
Not so much.
I don't know about that. I mean, I think even though we do a lot of animatronics, I think that, at least for me, that's an avenue I'd like to go down, is continuing to increase realism in movement.
Yeah.
You know, increased realism in movement. I think we're very strong on the character, you know, the sculpting and so forth. But increasing realism, I think, is where I would like to go.
Yeah, there's always refinements in things.
Yeah.
I was more referring to, we've made everything from a cut off finger to a 155-foot beast that's 2.5 stories tall that you walk through. You go in his mouth and get pooped out his butt. So we've explored all sorts of things, but there is a million things out there we could do, and we're just going to make as many as we can, and we've got great clients that come up with ideas and things. So we're all over it. But as far as feeling frustrated because I always wanted to do this or that, I don't think we're not frustrated. We're just busy.
Frustrated. Yeah, super busy.
Yeah,
nice. That's pretty cool. The you know, for everybody that's you know, wanting, you know, like young kids, you know, wanting to do creative stuff, like, you know, it seems like this day and age is just what an amazing time to be a creative, you know.
Yes.
So many different disciplines, you know, all these different technologies accessible. You know, you guys do a lot of the, you know, hands-on sculpting, mold making, casting, and everything. You know, and you know, I don't know if you've you know, played around with like stuff from like 3D printers or anything like that, but you know, there's so many different technologies, you know, making things more accessible for people to try their hands at. You know, what would you recommend, you know, artists, you know, or people that want to be artists, you know, try first as a foundation?
That you're right. The world is at everybody's fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
There is a trade secret, though, and I'm going to tell you the trade secret is, this is the secret that will spell success or failure. The talent aside, everything, you can do anything. You can write a book, sell them one at a time now. It used to be you'd have to have a company to publish your works and stuff, and you'd have to beg, please let me produce my book. Not anymore. You can write that book, and people can buy them one at a time. You don't need a publishing house. Right. So everything's there. But here's the trade secret, and it's not popular. It's hard work.
Yeah.
If you put in the work and you've got the passion to put in the work, you can literally do, well, I shouldn't say anything. Everybody can't be president or an astronaut, but you can do pretty much anything you want. And you can, and with social media and stuff, you can reach out to the world for nothing. Just knowledge of how to do it. It's, I'll tell you, when I started this business, there was none of that.
Right.
Nobody was talking. You couldn't find the information. I struggled, you know, kept cracking. I couldn't figure out how to paint the mask stuff. Nobody would share information. Don Post, he's a great guy, but he wouldn't even let me in the studio. I went out to California. I wanted to see Don Post studio. Nope. He was nice. We stayed in the conference room and talked, but he would not let me inside that shop. Everybody's tight-lipped. That's all over. And the technology can do anything you want. If you're a creative person, this is the best era ever, in my opinion. And so, yeah, it's hard work. It's just,
and plus, don't let people tell you that you can't do it. You know, I mean, if you want to draw, keep drawing.
Yeah, just do it.
You know what I'm saying? Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, people get to a certain age and people say, "Oh, you can't sing. Oh, you can't draw. You can't do this. You can't.
You're
do
too
that."
young.
And
You're too old.
And it just stops people, you know. So don't get stopped. Just
you used to
keep going.
You used to have a studio to make music, and even if you had to rent a studio, it's very expensive. That's all that, man. You can buy everything you need and edit and do all the composing on computer, and you need drums. You can have drums on the keyboard. It's so wonderful, and so I just think people need to understand the only limit is right here. That's, you know, you can do it.
But yeah, one advice we give to people all the time is don't give up your day job.
No, that's right. Yeah, because if you do, and it takes a while to get it going, and you're not paying the bills, and people are hammering on the door, and you know, that's when that can crush the dreams. But if you just, I'm going to keep my bills paid, keep my day job, and start doing this thing.
I think even like somebody, going back to somebody like Stephen King, too. Like, he was a high school teacher. You know, while he was,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was trying to, you know, sell his short stories and stuff, you know, and then, then finally he was able to, you know, get like, at least 3 novels under his belt. And
wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, he still kept the day job going until, you know, it's like, oh, geez, you know, there's something to this novel life, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
And time is, you know, like, who's the gal in Greeley that's the famous author?
Oh, Connie Rice.
Connie Rice. She is one of the great science fiction writers. She's a housewife living in Greeley, Colorado, and she just decides, you know, the kids are getting older, and she's like, I think I want to be a science fiction writer.
That's so cool.
Darned if she didn't do it. And apparently she's great. I haven't read it. I asked her, we met her in a restaurant. I asked her what we should read first. And she told us it was some black and white books. I forget. And we just haven't done it yet. But I mean, people would have told you're like a housewife. You science fiction writer, you're too old. You're living in Greeley, Colorado. It didn't matter.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of being creative too. You don't have to be young to start. You can start at any stage of your life. You know, just start on it and try to see it through.
Yeah.
So I
you know these struggles.
Yeah,
Dan. You've lived the artist life.
Yeah.
And you just don't stop. You just keep going.
Yeah, I get bored easy, so I got to keep doing stuff. You know, even in bed. You know, we're always working. Well, we're working on Colorado Festival of Horror, which will in September. So you know, I gotta get on that too. Oh man, we're getting all kinds of more comments coming in. Let's see here. Mark just came back. I love anything horror. I was born in '74, Friday the 13th.
That's
crazy.
Great.
Yeah, and then Ron's just stopped by to say hi. Thanks, Ron.
Hello, Ron.
I'm going to be 47 and still play guitar and bass, and he writes songs.
Nice.
They're very versatile. So, geez. Okay, everybody's chiming in all at once. Yeah, need it down to the. I don't know what that means.
Oh, sit down.
I thought. Sorry, Ron, we don't understand what you're trying to say. I should have done a better job of editing.
He's a musician, not a writer.
Yeah. But Molly says, thank you for your work.
Thanks, Molly.
She loves horror movies.
You and Janine.
I guess. I don't know. I was born in Maryland, grew up here in Colorado. 75 was the year. Nice. So, you've got, you've got, and Greeley's such an interesting area too, because you're in an area that's really unsuspecting and not known for the creative art, but the creative scene down there is nuts.
It is.
Yes, it really is. And the city supports it.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Greeley's kind of had this reputation, Denver, Boulder's all Greeley, and actually Greeley's starting to win awards. They've won awards for like the best place to raise a family, best drinking water. I don't know. It's kind of like a secret. And when I first moved to Greeley, I didn't think that much of it, and I was planning on moving. But as I was here and going to college and stuff, it just kept getting better and better. And then they put up the Civic Center, which, beautiful state-of-the-art theater.
Yep.
To me, that's when it shifted. They did that, and something shifted in people's heads about Greeley, and it's just a really amazing place to live now.
Yeah, great art, music, breweries.
Yeah,
but no traffic.
Really awesome.
See, that's the thing.
No traffic.
You got all that in Denver, but you got the traffic. So we're like a little Denver with no traffic.
I would say too, like along with Distortions and Halloween culture, there, the mural artists are just amazing. Oh.
Yeah, the guy that does that. What's his name? Awesome. Marsha, help me. My brain's not working. But he's a phenomenon. He's just big and super fast art and art man do or something. I think he calls the business, but I don't know. He's done a lot of murals in Greeley and other people, and it's just beautiful stuff. That's cool.
Ed, Marsha, we're just about out of time. Thanks so much for coming on the show and
thank you.
And talking about all the cool stuff that you guys do. I mean, it's always, really inspiring. And it's always great to connect with you guys and, hear about all the cool things.
There's one more cool thing we need to talk about.
Okay.
We're coming to your neck of the woods to go to COFOH. Is that how you pronounce this? Crazy?
Yes, we are. In September.
Yes.
September. Yeah. I don't know if we've announced anything. I haven't seen.
Oops.
But I think we're having you for a day, and we'll be we still have to iron a few things out, right? But we'll have you there. It'll be great to hang out with you for a few hours, and hopefully we can show some episodes of Making Monsters and Monster Lab too.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at Monster Day.
Yeah,
yes, I'll be the guy sitting in the chair.
Okay.
Yes.
With your foot up.
Yes, most definitely. For everybody out there, make sure you tune in to Monster Day Greeley, which is visit monsterdaygreeley.com. Visit Distortions Monster World at distortionsmonsterworld.com, and of course visit Distortions Unlimited at distortionsunlimited.com. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Yeah, and Halloween's coming up, so get your orders in.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't working hard enough. Good Lord.
Yeah,
we keep working till Halloween. So
there
you go.
Yeah. Well, and then beyond that too.
Right.
It never stops.
Yeah, Halloween. Halloween 2022 will start November 1st of this year, right?
Yes,
exactly.
Oh man, guys, it's great seeing you and chatting with you and everything. Stick around for a few minutes while we sign off.
Yeah.
Stick around afterwards for a little bit, and to everybody that tuned in, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to visit those websites, get those updates and stuff. Follow Distortions. They're amazing. Everything they do is just gold.
We're amazing.
Thank you, Dan.
Yes. Thank you. Listen, this was delightful. This is really fun.
Yes.
It's always a pleasure to talk to the two of you.
Thank you.
And to see your crew. So I can't wait to visit the shop, again when I'm of 2 feet.
Yes.
But real quick, thanks to our sponsors, to Hellfire Media for supporting us on your social media. Of course, to our friends at Mutiny Information Cafe. If you're going to start a revolution, make sure it's caffeinated. And of course, to Donut Films, to Bill and Angela over there, thanks for supporting us. And we'll be seeing them at COFOH as well. And my producers, Stefan Santa Cruz and Amanda Armstrong. And of course, to Elise for taking care of me.
Thank you, Elise.
Yes, thank you.
And loving me and not letting me go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And to everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. Be good, be kind, help each other out. Remember, we love you. Take care. Bye.